All right, just continuing along. We're just in another sample file, the advanced architectural project file that comes with Revit, the same file that's been coming with Revit for many years. And all we want to do is the same type of thing, but we'll use an elevation as a sample and probably try to go through it a little bit smoother this time. So there's really no set way on how you do it, but you'll find your own stride when you get in and start doing it. And of course, you can save this all in your project template file. So they're already there and waiting for you. So really, we're making view types and view templates and applying the view template to the view type. And then when we make a new view of that type, the template gets applied and it is persistent. If you change the view template, then what happens is all the views of that using that view template will get changed. So let's just go, say we want to go to our, what do we have for elevations in here so far? So if we go to a north elevation, looks like this. And, you know, that's okay for, you know, whatever working drawings or whatever we want. But let's say we want to have one that is a little different. Maybe we just want to turn the shadows on and we want to turn the text and annotations off. And we want to create kind of like a presentation elevation, but maybe leave it black and white. Whatever properties you change, it doesn't matter. So we're just going to play with a little bit of this stuff, but you can, you know, do it any way you want. So now what we want to do is we want to create the view type. And when we create the view type, we don't want to apply it to this particular view. And the way to do it is you go into a view that is, you know, starting, because we need to still kind of categorize it as an elevation view type or a floor plan view type. So we go into a view which is similar, edit type, just like a door or window, we say duplicate, and inside of here we call it, you know, elevation presentation. Okay, and inside of there, we're going to, while it's so conveniently placed, we're going to go to the view template file. We're going to go to architectural elevation to clone that and say duplicate, and we'll call this, you know, elevation press. There we go. And inside of there, we can go in and make our changes here. We don't have to make the changes here. We can make the changes later by going into it through our View Templates button. But let's see what we have. Display normal, detail level is coarse. Parts visibility is okay. Visibility graphics override. Well, we want to turn off some of the annotation objects. We want to turn off the grids. Don't forget to check on here to see what your discipline is. So let's turn off the grids. Let's turn off the levels. Let's turn off the section lines. I'm just looking over to the right. And that should do it. Hit apply. Hit OK. So that saves it as a view template. Hit apply. Hit OK. But now what happens is I've made the new view type. I've made the new view template, but I don't want to change this view. So as I back out, I'm going to change this back to be building elevation and hit OK. So I don't disturb what's already here. Okay. Now I can go and make a new view type. Now I can right click on here and duplicate this view, and then change it to be my new view type. That's one way of doing it. Or I can actually go to, say, a site plan, and or a level 1 or a level 2. Okay, and my elevation markers are probably turned off on here. Let's have a look before I place my elevation so I don't get a little error. Pick on there. And sure enough, they are. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just pick on here and say unhide the category. And then click on here and go back because I want to create a new elevation. I'm going to specify that I want a presentation elevation. Okay. And let's go back and just before I create that elevation now, and let's check and see if there's any sun settings or anything in there. Okay, let's go back to view. Let's go back to view templates. It's fun to do this. Manage our view templates. Elevation presentation. Now, is there anything in here for shadows? Sure enough, there is. So I got caught up with my visibility graphics. Model display. Click on here. Hidden line is good. That's going to give me my black and white. Silhouettes. Yeah, let's say I want wide line silhouettes. Shadows. I have to turn it on before that comes in. Transparency is okay. So I'm going to hit apply. Again, I can go in and save this as a view template. So, which would make a new one. So I'm not done yet because what I did was I went into the graphics display to see what's there. Now I'm going to go into the actual shadows and hit here and say yes, cast shadows. Ambient shadows is very nice. I can go into my lighting and have a look inside of here. And I might have to turn on lighting beforehand. So these are, I should be working my way up this way instead of down. So that's fine. Hit OK. Go back to lighting. And then if I turn my lighting on by sun setting and, lighting in session top left, hit OK. That's good. And then you can dial up your sun over here. And also you can turn up your shadows. Hit OK. So I'm just fine-tuning all the little visibility graphic settings, lighting, background. I could go in and say, create an image for the background, or I can just say gradient, and then I can pick my colors for my sky inside of here. Okay. So these are all settings that we can do normally in our view down inside of here, but what I'm doing here is I'm doing them within the view template and keeping in mind it's an elevation while I'm doing it. Discipline is good. I can go back and fine-tune this. Hit OK, and now I've updated that view template, and that view template is being applied to elevation views. Watch. You see, I notice you can't see it there. If I go back to this view and open it up and click in here, when I go here, you'll see there's that elevation presentation. That's using the view template settings that I just played with inside of here, which for the most part are settings that are down in here, sun settings and visibility graphics for that particular view. So now I've just gone ahead and turned the shadows on in this view, and it's just turning my shadows on because remember the stuff I'm changing here is being changed in the view template, and I haven't really applied the view template to anything yet. Okay, so now let's create a new elevation. I cannot do that from this view. I'm going to go back to my site plan where I turned on my elevation markers, and I'm going to create a new elevation. So I'm going to go into here on my view tab and say elevation right here, and I'm going to make it a presentation elevation, and I'm going to put it right beside this guy over here. Hover near the wall and you can see your little eyeball. So I go click, and what it's done is it's made a new elevation there, and I'll maybe make another one here. Click. Okay, so I'm going to hit escape. Okay, so I've got two new elevations, and guess what? Look down here. Elevation presentation, because it's a new view type. Isn't that wonderful? And guess what? If I click on here and I open that view, it's going to be black and white. It's going to have the medium detail. It's going to have the sun coming down, and there's going to be shadows and hopefully some ambient shadows as well. And there's my view that I've created, and of course I can just, use my usual cropping that I've been using all the way along here. And again, you could say, well, yeah, that's right, I do want to see trees, so that kind of turned out okay. So you can fine tune that view template now, and all the views that are using that view template will get updated. Okay, just zoom in here a little bit. So there's my new presentation elevation. I have one there, and then if I double click on this guy over here, I'll see that there it is with the shadows. And it takes a bit longer for the view to regenerate when you have shadows on, so you kind of have to be careful with that a little bit. You don't want to do a lot of flipping back and forth of views with shadows being turned on. You can almost turn them off until you absolutely need them. So there I have some, and you can see I even have the ambient shadows and stuff. So now if I want to make a change to that view template, I can go into here at any point and say, okay, manage view template. Okay, move that over here and say, okay, shadows, pick on here, shadows, cast shadows. Oh, cancel. You see, I'm in the wrong one. I've got to go here. I knew something was wrong there. Cast shadows, good. Ambient shadow. So if I said, okay, turn off the ambient shadows, hit apply, and then hit OK, then it automatically gets applied to all the views that are using that view template. So you can start to see some of the advantages of creating a new view type and then tying that view template to it. So again, if you pick on any view and you go over to the properties of the view, it's going to say view template inside of here. And if you want to change it, you can go pick a different view template over here. So you can do what we're talking about here for floor plans, elevations, sections, details, schedules with phasing, area plans. So I've just dabbled a little bit with elevations and floor plans, but you can take the same process of creating view types and view templates and then applying those view templates to the view types. And another way of creating new view types is to create one and then hit the edit type button in here. So what we've been doing is click on here, edit type, and then hit duplicate. Okay. You can also go in and, for instance, I can't make an elevation from an elevational view, but you can go in. Let's give us more variety here. So if you want to create a new view, what you can do is you can go up and say, okay, I want a new section, or I want a new floor plan. Okay, I want a new floor plan, and this is where you can go right in here and say edit type, and then you can hit duplicate and make a new view type right here on the fly and hit that same view template button. Okay, so you can make new view types by starting the view command from inside of here, create, or you can click in a view and say edit type and hit the duplicate button off of there. So always a couple of different ways to do that. If you say, okay, I'm going to make a new section, and then inside of there I can say edit type and duplicate and give it a new name, and I can call this, different type. Right now there's detail sections, and that's all. So if you say duplicate, you can make a new section type and then apply a view template to that. So that's kind of handy. So a couple different ways of creating view types there for you.